Welcome back to FPL Spad, your best place to find FPL content for the 23-24 season. My name is Spad. Today, I'm going to share with you my transfer watch list for game week 12. In that, we're going to look at 30 of the players, most transferred players in, and put them in 6 categories of must-buys, players that we need to great transfers, good transfers, optional and lucrative, and some gambles and transfers that we need to completely avoid. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel for future FPL content if you're new around here. Now let's get on with this transfer watch list for game week 12. So for the transfer watch list for game week 12, we're going to start off with the lowest transferred in out of the 30, and that is first up, Baldock. In my opinion, Baldock is an alright transfer to bring in at 3.8 million. It's optional and a lucrative at the same time, as he's 3.8 million. So you can see his price might be jumping up soon as people try to bring him in for people that haven't played the wild cards. So I'll put him in the optional category, in my opinion, and lucrative at the same time. So, in my opinion, not a great transfer, good transfer, just an optional one if you're playing a wild card to get a cheap 5th defender in. Next up, we have Hechan for Wolves. They've got a game against Spurs at home. They've got an easy game after that. In my opinion, I'll put him on a good transfer as Neto's out. He did get an assist again. He has been getting returns nearly every game week. So in my opinion, I think he's a good transfer to bring in for the coming game weeks ahead. Then we have Archer at 4.5 million. Again, I think he's optional. He did return last game week, but I don't expect him to carry on those returns at a good rate. He might get a goal hit every other game maybe. They have got 3 easy games coming up, in my opinion. Not easy, but Brighton always not going to be easy. Bournemouth at home is a bit better. Relegation battle with them. And then Burnley away, another relegation battle. But then they've got some hard games after that. Next 3 games are okay, so I'll put him at optional transfer, in my opinion. Not just quite good enough yet. Then we've got Lascelles at 4 million. He's starting getting returns nearly every game week because Newcastle are keeping clean sheets. I think he got all bonus points in the last game as well. I think he's a good transfer to bring in. Reason being, we don't know when Botman's going to be back. He's still injured. There's no return date for his injury. Until he's back, I think Lascelles is a great transfer to bring in. He was 3.9 million last week. He's gone up by 0.1. I expect his price to keep increasing as people try to bring in cheaper defenders to accommodate more in their attack. So, a good transfer to bring in. Next up, we have Kudos. He did return. He did back-to-back starts for him now for West Ham. I just don't think he's a great transfer. He's very low ownership. Is he a good or optional, in my opinion? He's a good differential. That's one good thing. But then you've got Bowen in that team as well, who most times will be getting the goals. So, it depends. I think I'll put him in optional. I don't think he'll get that many returns in all the games. They have got Nottingham Forest at home, Burnley away, and then Crystal Palace at home in the next 3 games. So he could be a differential, but he can get back starts. We don't know if he's going to play the Europa games either. I'll put him on good for now. He's just about good. So we'll keep him there for now. Next up, we have Mitoma at 6.5 million as well. So he's rivaling Kudos. So you can see why I'm hesitant to put Kudos in the good transfer, because I think Mitoma is a good transfer to bring in. But the thing with Mitoma and Brighton is at the moment, they're not in form. They're not playing their usual self. There's a spark missing, in my opinion, from that team. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something missing. They have got Sheffield at home, Nottingham Forest away, but then they've got Chelsea away, Brentford at home, Burnley at home. So I'll put him on good transfer as well, but I think I'll put him ahead of Kudos. Yeah, I think I'll put him behind Hechan. Yeah, behind Hechan. I think Hechan is a better transfer to bring in at 5.5 million. Wolves are playing good football. They're just getting done to by the referees, by bad decisions by the refs and VAR. Another penalty given against them, which wasn't a penalty again. Just unlucky for Wolves at the moment. Hopefully that can change. Next up, we have Van der Ven. In my opinion, he's optional. Probably below Archer and Baldock. Reason being, I just don't think Spurs will be keeping that many clean sheets, and I don't expect him to get many attacking returns. His price has already gone up to 4.7 now. I don't expect it to keep going up, as not many people will be bringing him in, as he's that low already in the transfer watch list, like being bought in. They've got Wolves away, then they got Villa at home, Man City away, West Ham at home, Newcastle at home. You know, some hard games. So I'll put him on optional, in my opinion, if you need to change your defence up. But you know what, you maybe even avoid, but I'll put him on optional for now. Then we got Ferguson for Brighton. I'm going to put him in the avoid category because Brighton are not in form, and I just don't know who is De Zerbi going to play. Is he going to play Ferguson? I don't know. I'm not sure if Welbeck's back, but Pedro, he was on the bench last game week. He might play instead. So in my opinion, I think he's avoid. Don't bring him into your team. Then we got Bruno. He did get a return last game week, but United are not in the best of forms. So is he a good? His price has dropped. They've got Luton at home, Everton away, then Newcastle away as well, and Chelsea at home. So it's not the best of fixtures. I just don't think he's a good transfer, in my opinion, because they have got Luton. So if it's for just one game week, then yes, he's a good transfer. But then again, Luton got a result against Liverpool. They will be on a high, and they don't play midweek. I'm pretty sure Manchester got a Champions League game this week as well. So he's going to be definitely playing that game. I think they're playing Copenhagen maybe away. So I think he is a gamble. Yeah, he's a gamble, in my opinion. Reason being, it's only for one game we could bring him in against Luton at home. So he's a gamble. You're gambling for one game week that he performs against Luton, because then they got some hard games after that. Then we got Romero. I'll put him on optional. I'll put him ahead of Van der Ven because he's got better chance of getting attacking returns, but not many clean sheets because of the games they've got coming up. So leave him in the optional category ahead of Van der Ven because he's got some attacking returns. Then we got Douglas Luiz. He blanked last game week. He was getting some returns. He's in my team, but Villa, they didn't perform great in the last game. They lost 2-0 against Forest. But at home, Villa have on a 13, 14 game winning streak. I expect them to carry that on against Fulham at home. Then they've got a hard game against Tottenham, maybe bring him out then. Then Bournemouth away, the Man City at home, Arsenal at home. So it gets hard for them. So in my opinion, his price has already gone up, so it's not even lucrative no more. Yeah, it's between good and optional. It's really hard for me to choose because I've got him in my team. But for just one game week, you can't bring him in for one game week. I bought him in a long time ago. So I would put him in the optional one. In the optional. I'll put him in the optional. I'll put him ahead of Romero. Then we got Johnston. At 4.6 million, his price has already gone up. He is a good transfer, in my opinion. If you need to make a goalkeeper transfer, he makes quite a lot of saves. And he tries to keep it they've got good price. I've got good features coming up. They've got Everton at home. But Everton are good away, so I would not be that overly excited about that feature, but I expect him to make saves and maybe keep a clean sheet. Then Luton away, West Ham away, Bournemouth at home. Some good games just before they play Liverpool and Man City. So, in my opinion, good transfer for the short term, 3-4 game weeks, and then maybe you want to change up, or if you have a second keeper on your bench that you can rotate with after that. Then we have Ben White for Arsenal at 5.7 million. I don't know if it's a good transfer or even optional because his form will depend on how good Saka plays as well because it's on the same side. So when Saka's on form, he's on form. It's like it's like a link up, you know. I just don't think they've been doing it. Saka's been very off it lately, and I think White has been the same as well. So I wouldn't bring in White at all. So I don't think he'll get the returns that people expect him to get. But they have got Burnley at home. who are not the best at the moment. They're very open. He's got a good chance of getting some assist in that game, maybe, if Saka turns up. And then got Brentford away, Wolves at home, Luton away, Villa away, then Brighton at home. Some good games. So I'll put him on the optional category, but I'll put him a bit higher than. No, I won't put him lower. I just think Arsenal will keep clean sheets. That's the thing. They'll keep because they do have a solid defense of Saliba and Gabriel. So I have to put him higher than Romero. Then we have Saliba. I'll prefer Saliba over White, so I'm going to put him ahead of White. He's got more chance of attacking returns in corners and set pieces by scoring headers. That's the plus that he has ahead of White. And he'll get bonus points if it's a low scoring game and they keep a clean sheet. So he's a good option to have. Then we have Mbemo. His price has already gone back up after dropping back down to 6.6 million. I took him out at 6.7. A bit too early. He did get returns twice. He got assists the last game week. I think with the games they got coming up, in my opinion, against Liverpool and Man City, don't bring him in these 2 game weeks. So it has to be an avoid for me. That's just personal opinion. It's too hard, very hard games. I think both of the games are away as well. No, one of them's away, Liverpool's game away, and then Arsenal at home. Don't think those 2 games will be that easy. You can bring him in after that against Luton at home. But till then, avoid him. Then we have Maddison. Do I think Maddison is a great transfer or good transfer? They haven't played Chelsea yet. That game's tonight. So, we don't know how we'll perform in that game. At the moment, it's been a low scoring game week. I've only made 30 points myself. And I'm hoping Maddison does not return because I don't have Maddison. I have Son, but I don't have Maddison. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword at the moment. Because if you want Son to get points, Maddison will get a few points here and there as well. So I think he's a good transfer to bring in. I'm going to put him ahead of Mitoma. I think Hechan's a better one to bring in. Better chance and more attacking returns from Hechan. So I'm going to put him below him. Then we have Anderson. They do have great fixture lists coming up. Crystal Palace, he's gone up to 5 million. It's just too expensive for Crystal Palace defender, in my opinion, for 5 million. You don't bring him in. So I'm going to put him in the avoid section because I think you could go for a different Crystal Palace defender that's coming up instead. So don't go for Anderson, go for the other one that's going to come up. Then we have Gordon at 5.7 million. I think he's a great transfer to bring in. Newcastle on form. They're solid in the back, so he's chance of getting 1 point for clean sheet as well. And then attacking returns. And he's always getting into the box. He's always trying to get goals. So in my opinion, he's a great transfer to bring in. Probably I had him at one stage, but I took him out because he was on suspended for 1 game, and I never got a chance to bring him back in. And he's produced numbers since then. Then we have Mitchell instead of Anderson. I think Mitchell is a better transfer to bring in. I think he's a good transfer to bring in. I'll put him ahead of Lascelles for now because can't put him ahead of midfielders because it's not a priority. If you've got one transfer to bring in, defense is not your priority. Your midfield should be your priority. Then we have Trippier. I think Trippier is another great transfer to bring in. Even if they got hard games, he's just producing. He's on form. He's always getting the 3 bonus points. It's like getting an assist a game without even getting an assist. So when he does get an assist, he gets an assist, and then 3 bonus points more or less guaranteed that game week. That's all he needs to get the bonus points because he's so attacking, always racking up the bonus numbers. So he's a great transfer, in my opinion. Then we have Saka. It's hard to put Saka into a category right now. If you go by his history, yes, great transfer. But if you go by recent form, he hasn't been playing the best. His XG is really, really low in the last few games. I just don't. He's a good transfer to bring in because he can turn up at any point. They have got Burnley at home, so he could get returns there. So I'll put him in the good transfer. I think I'll put him ahead of. I have to put him behind Maddison because he's more expensive than Maddison, and he's not on form. So I have to put him behind Maddison. It has to be logical. I don't want to, but I have to. Then we have Alvarez at 7.2 million. He's 2 weeks in a row, he's blanked now, which I'm happy about because I took him out of my team. But he can easily start returning. We don't know if how long Haaland's injury is out for. He could be just out for 1 game week. So then Alvarez would be a focal point of that Man City attack in the next couple of games. Next game for sure, because then we go international break. And Haaland should be back for that. So it's just for 1 game week you may be bringing him in, but you got to keep him. So I'll put him on good transfer. I'll put him on, I think, below Saka because Man City don't have the best fixtures coming up either. Like, they've got Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, Tottenham at home. So it's not the best striker to bring in. So I'm going to put him below Kudos as well. Like, unless you're changing for another different striker, not Haaland, then yes, good transfer. But if you're bringing in for Haaland, I wouldn't do that for 1 game week and then bringing Haaland back in. It's a waste of time, waste of your free transfers. Then we have Nunes. It's hard to put him where I want to put him because if he had finished the goal, the chance that he had yesterday, open goal, I don't know how he missed it. If he had finished that, he would have made points and then he would be like a must buy for nearly everyone, content creator stream. Everyone will be looking to get him in. But he's just him. He's just chaos. He'll get chances. He's always going to run into the box and try to do stuff. I think he's rushing things a bit too much. Like, there's times when he just gets the pass on and he just goes for the first time shot instead of taking the extra touch, and saying himself and then shooting. Like, I think he's a good transfer to bring in, even a great transfer. Brentford at home is a good game. At home, Liverpool are more or less unbeatable. Sorry, but it's just fact. The Anfield is just a whole other ball game. So I'm going to put him in a great transfer. He's gone back up to 7.5 million now, though. So I'm going to put him below Trippier. Then we have Salah. In my opinion, a must transfer. Last game week was the first proper game week that he blanked. And if Nunes had scored, he would not have blanked because he would have got the assist. But Brentford at home, hoping they'll fight back after their draw, which felt like a defeat in my opinion. They have to fight back and get a win that game before they play Man City away. They need to go into that game with a win. So, in my opinion, even in the Man City game, I expect Salah to perform. Because 2 very open teams, and he's on pens. So, in my opinion, he's a must-buy. Then, we have Wilson. Until Isak's out, he is a good striker to have in your team. He's always on pen. His mirror-to-goal ratio is one of the best in the league. I actually put him ahead of Nunes because Nunes has a chance of getting rotated because everyone right now is fit. Until Isak's, and as long as Isak's out, Wilson is guaranteed going to start. So I'll put him on the great transfer category. Then we have Son. Again, I'll put him in the great transfer category as he's a focal point of Tottenham's attack. Unless he gets an injury to his game, something happens when he gets injured. Otherwise, he should be a great transfer to bring in as if you can afford him in your team. I'm going to put him ahead of Nunes as well. Yeah, I'm going to put him ahead of Nunes as well. I think Wilson would be a better choice, but it's a midfielder. But yeah, Wilson would be a better choice than Son. Then we have Bowen. West Ham do have some good games coming up. He did blank last game week as Kudos got the majority of the points. They did lose the game as well. I just think he is a good transfer to bring in. So I'm going to put him on good track. Actually, I'm going to put him on great. And I'm going to put him ahead of Nunes because Antonio ain't performing at the moment. So if West Ham are going to score goals, it's going to be this man right here. So yeah. Then we got Watkins. So what's case they've got Fulham at home and then Tottenham away, Bournemouth away, Man City at home, then Arsenal at home. Some odd games, some hard games, some easy games. So it's very hard to put him where to put him. He's blank in the game weeks that I've brought him in, which ain't been great helpful. So he needs to bounce back. Hopefully he can in the next game against Fulham at home. At home they are longest. They have got a long winning streak going on at home, and they probably want to continue that as well and bounce back from their loss against Nottingham Forest. So I'm going to put him on a great transfer, and I'm going to put him below Nunes because of the price point. Because Nunes gets more chances than Watkins does. The only thing with Nunes is rotation. Then we have Nketiah. In my opinion, Nketiah is a good transfer to bring in because until Jesus is back, we don't know exactly how long he's out for. I think he is a great transfer to bring in, and I'm going to put him quite high up. If you can bring in your third striker, if you need to move some players around, this striker will enable you to bring in other players around your team in your midfield, maybe. So until then, and with Burnley at home, he could easily get another hat trick there, like he did in the game before they played. So, yeah. There. Next up, the most transferred in player, Doku. My mate had him in his team. He made a good amount of points. But in my opinion, the one thing about with him is he's got quality. He has got quality, pace. He has this one skill move that he does all the time, and it always seems to work. With him is his rotation factor in there. Because Bernardo Silva's back, Foden's there, Grealish, not sure what's happening with him. But with Haaland maybe not playing, he might be able to get more game time. They might work around and get him into the team as well. So I think he is between gamble and a good transfer. Very hard to choose between that. I'm going to put him on a gamble because my mate brought him in weeks ago and he made no returns. And then he made a return out of Norway. So that was just making up for all the game weeks that he didn't get nothing. So, in my opinion, he's a gamble transfer. Less so than Bruno, in my opinion. And I think that is it. That is the 30 most transferred in players for game week 12. So, in my opinion, the only must-buy you need to bring in is Salah. I know he blanked last game week, but they will bounce back, and he will start scoring points again. And there are some great transfers to bring in. You got Gordon, Nketiah, Trippier, Wilson, Son, Bowen, Nunes, and Watkins. These are some top-notch players, all playing in the top-notch teams, all playing good for the moment. So in my opinion, any one of these transfers are great transfers to bring into your team. And if you look at the good transfers, I think out of the good transfers, Hee-Chan is the best transfer to bring in, and he's a great differential. Like Maddison, Saka, Mitoma, Alvarez, very highly owned players. It's not going to really increase your rank if they score points because nearly everyone else has them. So I'll say Hee-Chan is a good transfer to bring in out of that list. And maybe Kudos, but that's a real differential. And is he going to play 3 games back to back? We just don't know yet. He might be impressing in training to Moyes, and he might be back into the team as well. So it could be a good differential. With the optional ones, I don't see any lucrative ones. Maybe Baldock, but that is for people that are doing the wild cards, as that's their 5th defender. A lot of people might already have him, so you lost money on him already. But hopefully he does go up. But other than that, all the other optional ones, I want to be looking to bring them in. And gambles, if you're a gambling man, go for it. Bring in Doku. But you're gambling. And then I'd say avoid Ferguson, Anderson, and Burmo. You've got other choices to bring in for the 2 game weeks that we got coming up, because these players won't be good enough for them. Anderson is, but you could bring on Mitchell instead, or even Gay. Gay's not on this list, but he's another option from Crystal Palace defence. So that's it for this transfer watch list for game week 12. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting and got some tips off it for your transfers for this game week. I might mispronounce some player names, but I hope you understood what I meant. Please like and subscribe to my channel for future FPL content if you're new around here. Please share it with people so you can help me grow and get bigger. Thank you again for watching me. See you again next time. See ya!